Good evening, Rambler fans, and welcome to this week's edition of the Rambler Sports Locker. I'm Bridget Murphy.
And I'm Alex Whitler.
Welcome back to both a new school year and a new season of the Sports Locker. It's great to be back.
So, how have your classes been, Bridget?
Well, let's just say that the Browns are having a better start to their season than I am to my school year. I'm no longer jumping hurdles, I'm actually becoming them.
Well, that's unfortunate. But if you've got to be the Browns, at least you have some very dedicated fans.
That is an excellent point. And at least the men's soccer team is off to a better start than I am. Like I said, the Ramblers have had a very strong start to the season. After last Sunday's victory against Utah Valley at the DoubleTree Hotel North Shore Chicago Classic, the team is still undefeated in its first 3 matches, marking the best start to a season the Ramblers have had since 2002. This is mostly due to stellar defense from goalkeeper Tim Dobrovolsky, who has kept every opponent scoreless so far this season. With Sunday's shutout, he is only 6 shutouts away from becoming the goalie with the 5th most career shutouts. With this distinction, Dobrovolsky will go down in Rambler record books for most shutouts. To add to his accolades, College Sports Madness announced on Tuesday that Dobro was named the Missouri Valley Player of the Week. Other notable new faces on the team include freshman John Capuchetti and Elliot Collier, who both scored goals in the team's first match against Dayton. Returners who are making an impact are junior Ryan Howe, who scored the lone goal against Western Michigan, and senior Brian Beeman, who scored 8 goals last season and has 2 assists so far this year. The Ramblers' next match is against the Michigan State Spartans on Saturday, September 14th in East Lansing, Michigan. The game begins at 1 p.m. Central.
Well, now let's take a look at the women's volleyball team. Thanks to sophomores Morgan Reardon and Sammy Hansen recording a whopping 8 kills last Saturday, the Ramblers beat Alabama State at the Arizona Invitational in Tucson, Arizona. Despite Alabama State's early start scoring 5 of the first 7 points of the match, junior Kathleen Vogel finished off the 25-16 first set victory. Other noteworthy players are seniors Libby Bresser and Laura Purcell. Bresser contributed a hefty block in the second match, while Purcell played a major role in the third set with a 5-1 lead, giving the Ramblers an early edge. The team has started the season with 3 wins and 3 losses, all out of state, so the team is looking forward to staying in the Chicagoland area for the upcoming matches. On this week's edition of The Rear View with Morgan Reardon on the Loyola Athletic website, freshman setter Caroline Holt says she's very excited to sleep in her own bed in preparation for the Wildcat Challenge. It's next up on the Lady Ramblers game list, and they'll play Virginia and Northwestern in Evanston tomorrow.
The cross-country teams have begun their seasons last Friday at the Badger season opener in Madison, Wisconsin. On the men's side, the Ramblers scored 50 points, taking 2nd overall due to strong performances from senior Sam Penzenstadler, junior Nick Miller, and sophomore Alex Baker. Penzenstadler took 1st overall with a time of 18:16. Miller was the next Loyolan to cross the finish line, placing 14th overall and clocking a time of 18:42, which was a new personal best for him. Baker finished 17th with a time of 18:45. For the women, Loyola's top performer was junior Sydney Stunkel, who crossed the finish line 6th overall, recording a new personal best at 14:16. Fellow junior Elle Tracy also recorded a new personal best with 14:53 and placed 22nd overall. Senior Allie Spearoff, freshman Emma Hatch, junior Hannah Magnuson, freshman Lindsay Brewis, and senior Abby John all contributed to the team's 4th place finish. Randy Hasenbank, who is the head coach for both teams, told the athletic department it was a nice season opener and that he is very pleased with both squads. The Ramblers are back in action tomorrow, Friday, September 12th, at the Illinois State Invite in Normal, Illinois. The race begins at 5 p.m. Central.
Well, redshirt freshman golfer Garrett Buckley's Loyola career is off to a roaring start. Stephanie Buffamonte met with Buckley to discuss his major accomplishment.
Garrett Buckley may seem like the typical Loyola University Chicago freshman walking around campus, but he has a secret weapon: golf. This past weekend at the Whistling Straits Intercollegiate, Buckley achieved a course record, tying 5 under par 67. He claimed the medalist honors. This was the lowest score for a golf Rambler since last season. Although Buckley is setting the bar high in his athletics, his academics are important to him and a big reason why he chose Loyola.
First and foremost, don't blow it in school. You know, I want to keep to the same standards I had in high school with the grade point, and I know it's going to be a lot more difficult in college, but that's really important.
Buckley not only came to Loyola for its beautiful campus and academics, but also for its athletics and upcoming season with the golf team.
My team is awesome. A bunch of great guys. They're all really funny, always fun to be around, but I mean, they're great players too. But yeah, I'm really glad to be part of it, and it's going to be a fun 4 years.
Next up for the men's golf team, they'll be competing at the D.A. Weinberg Intercollegiate in Illinois. For the Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Stephanie Buffmonte.
Thanks, Stephanie. The fall season for the men's golf team will end in October.
So what amazing event happened in this week in history, Maria?
Well, if you guys know anything about me, you know it's going to involve hockey and Detroit.
Of course it does.
The number 9 may not mean anything special to every sports fan, but to those of us hockey nuts and fanatics, it belongs to one of the greats who helped make the sport what it is today. On September 9th, coincidentally enough, in 1971, the legendary Gordie Howe, also known as Mr. Hockey, officially retired from the NHL. A player from my hometown and my all-time favorite team, the Detroit Red Wings, Howe's legendary career included leading the Wings to win 4 Stanley Cups. In fact, the Wings of the 50s are said to rival even the New York Yankees as a sports dynasty, winning 7 consecutive league championships. During his NHL career, Howe remained in the top 5 scorers for 20 consecutive years. Surprisingly enough, he was in his 40s for some of his career bests. Mr. Hockey's retired number 9 hangs above the rink of Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, where his name and number remain to inspire and remind all players of his legendary talents and skills. That's all for this week in sports history. I'm Maria Shetkowski. So are you guys crazy hockey nuts like I am? What are your favorite teams?
I mean, I'm a Wings fan, but I don't even think I can touch your level of Wings fandom there.
Yeah, compared to you, I feel like I know nothing. But, you know, I'm a Chicagoan, so I'm going to have to go with the Blackhawks.
Well, that makes this awkward for everyone then.
Sorry. And now, a bit of news coming from Loyola's women's soccer team. The Missouri Valley Conference has named senior Monica Gagno Goalkeeper of the Week. Over the weekend, she gave some stellar performances, including shutting out Western Michigan 1-0 last Friday. The New Berlin, Wisconsin native currently holds a 3-3-0 overall record, and this is not the first or second, but the 3rd time she's been honored with the award. And that's not all. She's incredibly close to making history. With 21 career shoutouts to her name, there's only one other athlete ranked above her, and that's Emily Peak, who attended Loyola from 2008 to 2011. All Gagno needs is one more clean sheet to match Peak. Gagno will return to the field Friday night when she and the rest of the team travel to Albuquerque, New Mexico for a game at 8 p.m. Not long after that, they'll make their way back to Illinois to take on their rivals, the DePaul Blue Demons. Perhaps by then, Gagno will be the #1 on the university's record board.
Halas is reopened and redesigned. There's all new weight training equipment, a protein bar, and a new swimming pool. Emma Wheeler has met with one organization that is particularly affected with the new aquatic gigs, the club swim team.
Renovations at the Halas Rec Center means a brand new pool and new opportunities for the swim team. Last year, the team was left without a pool to practice in, forcing them to move to the Edgewater Athletic Club. Senior Maddie Roche said that even though the facilities were nice, they still did not provide everything they needed. With their location off the south end of campus, practice was also not always easy to get to.
We still didn't have blocks and stuff like that, so we couldn't practice like diving or anything, which is a huge part obviously in swim, so I definitely don't think it helped that much, but those that came and we were willing to dedicate ourselves to practice.
Their work paid off as the team was awarded Most Outstanding Club Sport of 2014. Club President Tony Rogina was honored to be recognized by Loyola.
Trying to run a swim club without a pool was definitely one of the more unique challenges I feel like any club would face. So being appreciated for the hard work we put in and keeping the club going in a very difficult time, it felt fulfilling to know that the school and club sports as a whole appreciated the work we did.
The club swim team aren't the only ones benefiting from the new facilities. The water polo team is also making a big splash. Tony also represents the water polo team, who last year was left to practice in Lake Michigan. Not only will the Halas pool be safer, he says it should lead to more success.
just being able to get that practice time, being able to actually shoot on a goal, which we didn't get to. So our first tournament last year, it can't do anything but help us immensely.
With 8 Olympic-sized lanes and plenty more free space, the teams both hope the new pool leads to more interest in a season that goes swimmingly. For the Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Emma Wheeler.
The new pool is open to students weekdays from 11:30 till 9 and weekends from noon till 6.
All Goodell has broken loose in the NFL. Let's punt it to the guys at the Weekly Ramble to see what they have to say about the commissioner's latest and definitely greatest mishap.
Hey, what's up, Sports Locker fans? I'm your host, Milop, for this first edition of our Weekly Ramble. I'm here with Nader and Nabil. We're going to be talking some NFL. Now, none of us are, in favor of some of the actions by Ray Rice and Roger Goodell, but we do have to discuss Goodell's situation. So, should Roger Goodell resign from his post as NFL commissioner? Nabil, we're going to start with you.
I believe he should be forced to resign because his rules are inconsistent and he has no thought behind them. Ray Rice's punishment was one of many mistakes that he's messed up since he's been head of the NFL. And he also had no proper investigation in this case. TMZ was able to get footage of the incident and he didn't. And also he messes up domestic violence and marijuana regulations. So.
Okay, pretty solid. Nader, what do you got to say?
All right, as of right now, there's no evidence that Roger Goodell has seen the video, tried to hide the video from the public, or lied about seeing the video. So I don't see why he should be forced to resign from his job. I know he makes a lot of money, but that's no reason that somebody should lose their job just because we're jealous of how much money he makes. And the number one job that he has is to make the league money.
Okay, solid. So yeah, Nader actually made a pretty fair point, Nabil. Goal of commissioners to make bank. So why should he resign when that's exactly what he's been doing?
But he also finds all the players and he introduces all these regulations. So he's kind of like a PR man also of the NFL, and he's the figurehead of the NFL. So in this case, I think he was completely wrong. And he doesn't make all the money. The TV companies, the marketing, that makes the NFL more money than he does.
All right, really solid. And then Nader, it's not like this Ray Rice scandal is the first thing that Goodell's gotten wrong. He's made plenty of mistakes. So why should he stay despite everything?
I just think that this is one of the mistakes that he's made. Everybody makes mistakes in their job. Why is this the breaking point for why he should be forced to resign from his job? There have obviously been other mistakes, but there were never big cries for him to resign.
Okay, I'm going to give each of you guys a chance to ask each other a question. Nader, ask Nabil a question.
Why is this the breaking point out of all the things that have happened before without any cries for his resign?
Because I think sexual assault is not sexual assault, domestic violence and sexual assault cases have been in the NFL, and these are really sensitive issues, and you can't just give 2-game punishments for something like this. You really can't.
Nabil, go for your question.
Why do you think he's made so many mistakes? Why do you think he should still be allowed to stay? This isn't his first mistake.
It isn't his first mistake, but we don't know for a fact that he did make a mistake. He obviously, through the public, there have been some mishaps that he's had, but we don't know for a fact that he ever saw a video.
He made a mistake in this suspension.
All right, nice job, guys. Those are some really swell arguments. Honestly, I think that Goodell should resign, but in the middle of the year, not exactly sure about that. We'll let you guys take it over from the desk.
Thanks, Milop. I think that was pretty fair representation of both sides.
Yeah, only time will tell, so as more information comes out about the case, we'll know more.
Exactly. Well, while we usually take this opportunity to banter and leave you feeling lighthearted, today is the 13th anniversary of 9/11.
In honor of those who lost their lives in the attacks, let's take a moment of silence to honor our fallen heroes.
Thanks for stopping by the locker, and don't forget to turn out the lights.